Nah, I'm mad hype, yo. I'm still thinking about this shit because I always think like, yo, I want to, and I've been trying to find the PDF. Like, you couldn't find. Usually, I'm good at finding PDFs. I couldn't find nothing. I was like, I just want to read this fucking article. You read it already?
I read the yeah.
How did you get anything?
That's why I told you like there's a part in there that's not really right. Exactly.
This yeah. Let's build on this, man. Okay, you.
The God, Almighty Understanding, Human and Supreme Equality, brought us this here.
Okay, so you bought them? You just bought them and shared them?
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's peace. And you said that you saw something in there that wasn't right in exact?
Yeah, because it says in there that the mathematics was made by Allah and Abu Shahid. That's what it says in the article. So that's why I was like, you know, it's a cool little piece to have, you know, but then the information in it is a little bit. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? See, this is why you gotta be careful with it. You know, interesting. Like I said, I was telling you I was building with firstborn Hakem the last day, and he pulled it out.
I want to show you something. Do you know anything about this magazine? I think this magazine is called Jive.
And it was, kind of regular. It wasn't as in good condition as that one.
Yeah.
Let me see the front of it.
This is not the front of it.
That side? Oh, you don't have the cover of it.
No. That shit wore off.
Okay.
Because I showed it to so many people. Look at all the people that's in this joint.
Like Bumpy Johnson and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that looks like it's old.
Yeah, it is old. It's real old. Fat Joe. But they got the real guy in here. I will get to. Come on, paper. Come on. This is the only reason I keep the goddamn thing. The magazine. Because somebody brought it up to me.
Oh, that's God on it. That's not the Feds magazine, is it?
It might be.
Like I said, going through it, and he said that he only reason why he had it is because of the article.
Mm-hmm.
But I never owned that magazine, so I need to get it for myself and do the knowledge.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the knowledge. It's funny. I'm almost finished reading Abu Shahid's book, The Naked Truth. So it's funny how everything is real. You know what I'm saying?
It's mad like controversial.
I mean, would you say, how far you get with the Naked Truth?
I got like a couple pages left. Like I'm basically finished. But
so what is your assessment so far?
With reading anything, I always just try to take the best part for myself. There's obviously certain things that I don't agree with, and I wouldn't advocate for anybody. If somebody just come to this culture, I wouldn't put that book in your hand. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? You just take the best part for yourself. Even a lot in that Otisville interview, he said I'll take knowledge and read it and use it for anything, no matter who say it, But the other side of that, I've heard him tell brothers, don't get too captivated in the books. It's what you bring to a book. Mm-hmm. So it goes back to like, if you have a certain level of understanding, you can read any and everything. If you use the mathematics and alphabets, you can draw it up and preserve the best part for yourself. But if you just get caught up in the knowledge and wisdom, then you could get easily led in the wrong direction. So that's all I have to say about the book personally. I found out some things I didn't know, but I'm not going to take everything on face value.
Well, Abu Shahid was an interesting character, because he was with Allah in the mosque.
Yeah.
And they had a close relation. I know that Abu Shahid was younger than Allah. Mm-hmm. And then history, as you go along, and you see that Allah had the magnetic, and Abu Shahid might have
utilized that to
utilized other means to try to get magnetic.
He was trying to use other people as useless land, basically.
And that's from what I was. Now, like I said, I wasn't there for the history, but I just know the brothers that would told me that he was kind of like distributing with the heroin and whatnot, and had brothers. So Allah instructed his 5%ers to stay away from Shahid. Mm-hmm. And interestingly, after Allah got returned, you know, Shahid disappeared, but then he came back I think came back like in like 95 and he, you know, he was saying like, you know, he said that he was Allah's brown seed, but we know that our enlightenment says Allah's justice, not Allah and Shahid.
But one thing I would say through reading certain things I read an old Southern man, and I remember Jaki in it he said that was Allah's original brown seed.
Original brown seed, right?
Yeah, and then he got caught up in some shit, and then even in the book he said it. He said he had to do a sentence, and then when he came back, Allah Justice was like, you know what I mean, right hand man. Right. So,
well, God, he told me personally that he came up with the mathematics.
Yeah. He said that in the book as well.
He said that he came with mathematics, but then when I asked him, what did Allah say when he came up with the mathematics? He didn't have an answer for me. You know what I'm saying?
And mathematics can be shown and proven in no limited time.
Right. So, you know, and just the way he you know, in that interview or that recording that I had of him, he became irritated because I was asking him like, you know, what did Allah say? You know, like, you know.
In what year did you come up with the mathematics?
Before I left the mosque.
Mm-hmm.
And what year was that?
I don't know. I'm not no fucking calendar. I don't know. I didn't write down, oh, today is March the 13th and I'm leaving the mosque. I didn't do no shit like that, man.
So right before you left the mosque, you
I'm
came up.
83 years old, man. I don't know what day it was I left the mosque, man. Shit.
Oh.
You know, I had the problem book. I asked the father, I said, put it. I got the problem book. You want it? He said, I ain't got no problems, John. I said, okay. And I went on about my business.
When you brought the mathematics to Allah, what was his response?
The mathematics, the 12 jewels, and the supreme mathematics.
The mathematics and 12 jewels.
The 12 jewels came first, and then the supreme mathematics.
Right.
Went to supreme mathematics from the 12 jewels because if there's 10 numbers in the language of mathematics and equality means to be equal in everything, and 5 is half of 10, how does 6 get to be equality?
Yeah, I was asking you, like, you know, when you brought it to the father, what was his response?
We built the mathematics. What no, you know, I don't know what this response. He said, oh, he was. What is man shit? I'm 83 years old. I can't remember all that shit like that, man. Between us, we built the 12 jewels and the supreme wisdom.
Oh, so y'all did it together, is what you're saying?
You can't do this, you can do that.
I got as far as God, 7. And got busted. When I went to jail, they put the rest of the 12 jewels together. When I came out, I finished and went to the supreme wisdom. And this is 2014, and they still ain't got it right.
We know in our history, we're told that Allah and justice came up with that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, he said that. And I don't know what relationship does the person who...
I think it's the guy who got the sign who wrote the article in here.
Okay.
Malachi 17 or something.
Yeah. So I don't see. Maybe he built with Shahid, and that's what Shahid told him. You know, because you know, I think when he wrote that, Shahid was probably the oldest one of the nation who could, you know. So you get that. See, that's why I do what I do with the camera, because I go around, I like try to cross reference and whatnot, because there's a lot of things there's a lot of revisionist history being written. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So I
what
should
it,
acknowledge
to
that.
me. That's what the devil does. You know what I'm saying? So I think if we get back to the root of everything, the knowledge, you get to the actual facts and stuff, especially without being emotional. Because I like what you said. Like if somebody's asking me questions and I have the answers, there's no reason for me to get irritated with them. That's even a part of the 7 characteristics of a wise man. Don't be not getting frustrated with somebody answering a question or asking a question. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of those things that something's not adding up. If those are missing parts, that's not,
Yeah,
that's not adding
but
up.
then also God, you know, because you know Allah taught from what I was taught.
Yeah.
I never met the man, right? But from what I was taught, Allah taught the different non-borns and the people that he came in contact with. He taught them differently. You know what I'm saying? And when Allah returned, you know, a lot of those brothers, they didn't come together as much as they should have.
To get all the pieces together.
Put all the pieces together. So I was like, yeah, I got this piece. So when I come in contact with you, and you manifest in a certain way, I don't go that way. I ain't get it that way. That's not what the law said. And then they're holding on to everything that he said on tape, like as if
it was the law for everybody. From what my perspective is, if you teaching somebody and you a master teacher, right, which Allah was, knowledge or understanding, right, knowledge or understanding yourself, you can use your knowledge and understanding to weigh the wisdom in the atmosphere. So what this brother might need to hear right now, and what I need to manifest in his, to him that he needs to do in his life or advocate for, might be different from the other brother at this current moment. However, it's both all still rooted in the same foundation, which is knowledge itself.
Right, but because of that brothers' differences, brothers either clash or just didn't come together. So when it gets to us, we gotta kind of question.
I mean,
we gotta measure.
If we use our knowledge to understand it. I remember even in the interview with Allah, he said, Jesus had 12 disciples. When they only had knowledge and wisdom, they had to go get Jesus, and that's why he even said that he's the 13th man, because he has knowledge and understanding. He's off the calendar and off the clock. So if we using our knowledge and understanding, then we should be able to master all these things and draw it up for what it is, and leave the poor part alone. Or if particular situation, you might want to turn the poor part to the best part. Just do what's needed for that specific situation, what's necessary. Instead of getting caught up in the knowledge and wisdom, taking things on face value. Person places all thing on face value.
Yeah, I never read that though. How many did you get, Almighty?
I'm not a library, but this.
No, how many
copies? I got 4 copies. So I got one for myself. 4 copies. I got one for him. I got one for Positive, and I got one for my physical brother who's in Rikers. But I don't want to send it to him
because of that.
You must do your own research, as I did.
INFMEGA did this.